Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Today's article is kind of funny, but it is exemplifies the idea that you can't really say anything negative towards Zelensky. And if you say something, even if you're a low rank, unimportant, let's put it, individual, uh, complete regimentation of thought is needed, and we all have to think in the same way about a person whom we might see different facets. In this case, that's a Hungarian parliamentary who had some, I say maybe he picked some poor words to talk about Zelensky, but I think those are better than other ones that were used by Zelensky to address other world leaders. But it doesn't matter. Two wrongs doesn't make it a right. So let's see. Don't make it right. So let's see. This comes from the new Voice of Ukraine from June 5th, 2022, and this is the title: Ukraine's foreign ministry reacts to insults against Zelensky by Hungarian parliamentarian. And this gentleman is Kever. Kever, or Kever, made some statements in a recent interview with Hungarian media. He was commenting on President Zelensky's latest appeals for aid from Ukraine's allies. And I'm quoting. You gotta pay attention to each word here, even though this is a translation, right? Usually, those who need help ask for it politely, persistently, but ask, not demand or threaten. Let's unpack this. Usually, if you need help, you are in an inferior subordinate position, so you would ask politely. You can ask more than one time, but you're still polite. You don't threaten, or you don't call names. In this case, demand, or you should do this because this, or threaten you, if you don't do this, we're going to tell daddy, United States, or something. Okay, move on. One usually threatens enemies, not those they want to have as friends. Correct. But then you would go to United States, who threatens and blackmails economies of certain countries with sanctions and all the time. And they consider to be what? Not even friends, not even enemies sometimes. Well, this guy is right. One usually threatens enemies. That's correct. Not those they want to have as friends. How can that be a friendship? It's going to be a strange kind of friendship, don't you think? And now is this the inflammatory language that this Kever stated. There is a personal mental problem here, Kever said, end quote. So should he have said it? I don't know, but I think if someone acts the same Kever said, I'm not defending anybody here. I don't really care about Kever or Zelensky. I think that Zelensky is a weasel. I think that he's on the payroll of the United States of America. He's a comedian. He plays his part as an actor in front of us. He's pushed forward. He's supported. That's my personal assessment of that guy. And I don't think he's the strategist hero that the mass media tries to push it forward. And a lot of people below 86 IQ fall for it. Well, I'm sorry, I don't. So let's go. Not that I'm below 86, I'm below 50. All right, so I'm from coming from the southern. No, oh my God, from the southern part of how do you call it? The IQ scale. Put it this way. Nevertheless, so if you say that the person acts and threatens and calls you names and does that, you attribute that to a person who has a bad upbringing, or maybe a I don't know, negative person who has a deficiency, maybe not mental deficiency, but you say, okay, you're a bad dude, you're consciously doing this, you're a bad dude. But if you say, well, maybe he's not a bad dude, he's just a little bit gone, then you give that person a little bit more credit. You say, well, actually, it's not his fault. So I think this guy could have said, well, he's on this and that, instead of saying, well, maybe he just, he's not a bad dude, or they are not bad dudes. It's just that they have a little, problem there. I don't even know if it was that made as a joke or not. Nevertheless, should have he said that? I don't care. That's his life. He can say whatever he wants. As Zelensky can call other people without evidence war criminals. Which one is worse, this guy or that guy? Zelensky calling other peoples and leaders war criminals, or you're responsible for the crimes in Ukraine if you don't give us money and weapons and all that, and that's blood money that you get from Russia. Is that a nice way to say things? That makes you obviously a perpetrator, a criminal, as the other guy, right? Because it says, you don't help me, that means you help them. Really? What if I'm neutral? Can I be? No, you can't be, because we say so. So as I said, maybe it's a poor choice of words here from this gentleman, but not from Kever. But then you have the response from the Foreign Ministry of Ukraine. In turn, Foreign Ministry spokesman Oleg Nikolenko said such accusations were based on the pro-Kremlin position of a number of Hungarian politicians who persistently continue to throw mud at Ukraine and whitewash the crimes of the Russian Federation. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine is waiting for the publication of a certificate on the state of the mental health of the Speaker of the Hungarian Parliament, Laszlo Kever. So instead of saying, I take the high road or whatever, I'm just going to go down to you and say, well, I want to see your certificate, see if you're normal. So that tells me that Kever had a point. He just unmasked these guys who show them what they are. They say, you know what, we condemn that. I think that's childish or not welcome. Then, please refrain from this, or don't refrain. Your free speech, but that's your opinion. That's it. No, they said, no, actually you are, and we want to see your certificate. What is that? They proved Kever's point, I guess. Well, nevertheless, they got into this, and then they condemned. The Ukrainians condemned the Hungarians from not participating in the frenzy against Russia, and Viktor Orban not doing what they are required to do, including not allowing war weapons cross their territory, their Hungarian territory. Well, that's an accusation that I think it has a very solid foundation, and that could bring me to two events. One was the 1956 uprising in Hungary that was destroyed by the Soviet tanks. All right, that's one thing. And then Hungarians said, "Oh my God, we're not going to allow anybody to have troops on our territory again, ever again." So that I can see that why I will not allow anybody to take troops across my country, my territory, troops and whatever ammunition and weapons. And the other one was the 1968 situation, invasion of Czechoslovakia, if you remember, which there were four Warsaw Pact participants who killed the whole revolution over there in 1968, right? It was Soviet Union, it was Hungary, and it was Poland, right? I think it was Bulgaria. So Romania said, no, we're not going to participate in this thing. And Romania did not allow, the Russian trains to go through Romania to Czechoslovakia. The same thing as this guys, the Hungary, declined to allow anybody's trains with armed forces or anything pass Romania. I think the Romanians allowed arms, weapons to go, but not military personnel. I think that's how it was. But nevertheless, Romanians were hailed. Hey, good job, Romania. Don't let the Russians, the Soviets, I'm sorry, go and kill those ones. But now Hungary is, oh my God, you're a bad dude because you don't let us go and send some military equipment over there because that's the good cause. The other one was the bad cause. Everything is about good and bad here. And who is the judge? Who determines that? And you can't be in between, like Hungary. You have to be left or right. It's white or black. Good or evil? Dogma, religion. Thank you. I don't subscribe to that kind of worldview. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.